thanks for what you do with your podcast and all the rest. You're doing a great job. Hope everybody keeps tuning in. You get a lot of good info, a lot of insights, understandings of how to get strong, how to stay strong, how to use your strength.
You do a great job, dude. You make things better than they are in real life, I think.
If you don't follow Massenomics, y'all do it. Social media, website, everything.
Massenomics.
Welcome, everyone. Episode 358 of the Massenomics podcast. We're excited to teach y'all how to get strong, stay strong, how to use your strength today. This is the lifting podcast about nothing, and my name is Tanner.
And my name is Tommy.
I mixed up the intro a little bit
You
there.
did.
I intentionally, I'm not saying I screwed it up. I'm just saying I freshened it up a little bit.
My brain went off of autopilot for just a second because it said, what's going on here?
Oh no, this whole thing's a mess. Let's shut it down and start it over.
Scrap it.
We are here for episode 358, this one is, and we're going no guest this week because we just got a lot of good stuff we've got to talk about, right?
We got too much stuff to talk about. We hinted at it last week, and I thought there was a good chance we would get through most things, and we got through very little on the list, so we got some ground to cover tonight.
So would you say we've got a rundown to go through?
We got a full rundown.
First thing in this rundown that I want to talk about is our good friends over at Juggernaut AI. And when I say good friends, I mean Chad.
Yes. We mean one person.
Yeah. Juggernaut AI. It's the training that Tommy and I both use. We've been using it for many months now. Been seeing a lot of progress, and a lot of our training partners at Massenomics Gym have been seeing a lot of progress on it. There continues to be more people, legitimately more people, just in our small gym in Western Northeast South Dakota using Juggernaut AI every week. And it's fun. You get to track your progress over time. The app really works well for that. And then also just the phasic structure of it. I think I just saw you or some other people in the Discord this week talking about how jumping from hypertrophy strength blocks, peaking blocks, how the changes are just kind of satisfying.
It always feels good. Like when you leave a bridge block, nothing feels better than going to hypertrophy. When you leave hypertrophy, nothing feels better than going to strength. When you leave strength, nothing feels better than going to peaking. It just, you're always ready for the next phase.
The way it works, isn't it? Probably the best part of the whole thing is you can use discount code Massenomics and it'll save you 10% off for the lifetime of your membership. So go to juggernautai.app on your web browser. Don't sign up through the app. Sign up through the web browser. That's where you can use our discount code and save you that 10%. Thank you, Juggernaut.
Thank you. Today's episode is also brought to you by Texas Power Bars. Buddy Caps first started lifting weights in the late 60s and began powerlifting in the mid-70s. At the time, he was working for Image Barbell building gym equipment. Around 1976, a local machine shop started making Olympic bars for them, calling it the Image Bar. In 1977, Image Barbell became Champion Barbell. It was then that Buddy started looking at the bars with an intent of changing them for the better. In 1979, Buddy bought his first lathe to begin addressing the known issues. In 1980, his passion, drive, and purpose now had a greater mission. Buddy set out on his own to make what he believed was the greatest bar he had ever seen and trained with, and the Texas Power Bar was born. It was strong as a house with the best knurling and was maintenance-free. Hundreds of state, national, international, world, and Massenomics powerlifting records have been and continue to be set and broken on the Texas Power Bar. To learn more about Texas Power Bars and buy one of their legendary bars, visit texaspowerbars.com.
Big Zach in the Discord, Big Zach, Massenomics Gym member, noticed my camera moved. As mixing it up, mixing up a lot of stuff this week. Partly the intro, partly the angle that I have my camera.
You gave it about a 40-degree shift, didn't you?
Yep. Just want to keep everyone guessing. Maybe each week you can see a little bit more of the Massenomics Fulfillment Center that you haven't seen before.
Eventually, it just goes full circle. It's all the way back around.
Yes. We do have a whole bunch of stuff this week, Tommy.
We do. We have a ton of things. So should we jump right in?
It's pretty early to dive right in, but I mean,
you got to do it at some point.
We are mixed. I'll say it a third time. We're really mixing it up this week. So.
I gotta say, I basically weekly am providing some type of update about how someone notices Massenomics or is familiar with it.
Was there more?
I got to say, the support in Eastern Southeast South Dakota seems much higher than Western Northeast South Dakota, but it also is because if you're involved in Western Northeast South Dakota, you just are a friend of ours. Like, we just know you.
That's true. Yeah, they're not walking up to saying to us like, "Oh, are you the Massenomics guys?"
Yeah,
it's like,
that'd be
you're
kind
Tommy.
of weird.
I've known you for 12 years.
Yes, that'd be kind of weird for that to happen in Aberdeen. So I guess that is
or
the difference.
even like the people that you don't know well, you've already ran into them like 13 times over the last 10 years. So it'd be weird
for them to say anything now.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's like I can't approach you about something because we've already like chosen not to acknowledge each other the last 7 times we ran into each other.
Yep. This has been. Yep. We've already passed that point. We're too far gone here. But this was maybe my favorite one yet. I was at a place here in town called the Washington Pavilion, which is basically a children's museum. So I'm there with my boy.
It's a good place, right?
It is. He loves it. We go there multiple times a month. He thinks it's the best, and it is cool. It's good for kids. And so we're on one of the floors, and this guy's looking at me, and I'm like, all right, here we go. What's it going to be? And he goes, "Are you Tanner?" And I go, "Tommy."
That's so close.
Oh, okay, yeah. And he goes, "I actually used to work with Big Mo before." And he goes, "Yep, I follow you guys. I know what's going on and everything." And so we had a nice little chat. But Big Seth,
was he a Massenomics follower to some extent?
Yeah, he knows. Yeah, he's listened to the podcast. He knew what was going on with things for the most part. So yeah, Big Seth, coworker of Big Mo, who's also been talked about on this podcast. Nice meeting him.
Is your wife starting to be like, all
she,
right?
She actually wasn't there. Yeah, she wasn't there for this one. Otherwise, I think I would have got that's enough of every time we go out in public, someone's got to talk to you about how they potentially know you.
That's like the best ever, though. If people potentially know you from Massenomics, that's the funnest.
Oh, it is really fun. And I met up with a friend this past weekend who is from Sioux Falls and has lived here a while, and I was explaining to him how like I've just moved here and I routinely get stopped by people that recognize Massenomics, and he was just like, "Wow, really?" Like that. He just had a hard time wrapping his head around that.
Like, what for?
Yeah. Yeah. So I hopefully have another one to report to you next week, Tanner.
Yeah. How about have there been any big commercial gym updates? Like any interesting? Everyone always likes the commercial gym.
Well, actually, nothing major because I've been going at noon. But one thing I have been thinking about, which just makes me giggle, is so we famously have the "Don't Curl in Me" T-shirt,
obviously
as a
for sale at Massenomics.com.
Exactly, just letting everyone know the proper usage of a squat rack. And after going to a commercial gym for a little while, you could make several variations on that shirt. "Don't Curl Me" is as relevant as any of them. You could also have "Don't Hip Thrust in Me." That seems to be a popular one that just blows my mind.
Is that a pretty popular exercise you see getting done frequently?
Surprisingly, yeah. I didn't think many people did that because I've never seen anyone do it at Massenomics. So if no one does it there, that means maybe a couple people do it out in the greater world. But it's not unusual to see that move being done every time I go to the gym. So yeah, don't hip thrust in me could be a common one. I'm trying to think of what else I saw the other day that was it was an arm movement of some kind. You just see dumb exercises in the squat rack.
Yeah, yeah.
But the hip thrust one really did surprise me the other day. I thought that was just something that would never happen
in me. Yeah. Like, has it ever come up that you've been wanting to get in the squat rack and you couldn't because someone's doing something silly in there?
Really the biggest problem is there's only, in the one side of the gym that I go to, there's only one bench. And so what happens is when there's only one bench is that people start pulling benches into the squat rack. So you just at times end up with a lot of people benching in the squat rack, and you can't knock people for it when it's the only spot you can bench. But
right.
Yeah, if you can't get a squat rack, that's almost always the reason, is that there's people benching in it.
Yeah.
Because let's be real, no one's actual squat workout takes longer than 5 minutes. So, yeah, there's just a lot of squat workouts that when you're only going up to there's nothing wrong with this. When you're only going up to 25 or 95 or 135, warm up and your reps just don't take very long. But
Right.
a lot of times when you're doing that, you're also only quarter squatting. So like that also makes it go faster because there's just no movement in it. And
Big Jeff in the Discord said you're going to be like Kurt Karwoski at the commercial gym where now you walk up to the squat rack and you give him the 5 minutes.
Yep, it's only a matter of time. I'll be there soon.
You kind of are like the Kurt Karwoski of that gym, though. Probably.
I kind of am. I still,
if it's all on a scale.
The most I've ever seen anyone put on the bar for squat is 365 to this day.
Which isn't bad.
No,
but it's just
not bad. Yep, but it's only been one person. Only been one person.
Right.
And I think I said I saw one kid deadlift 5 plates. I think I saw one other guy put 4 plates on the bar once, and I've seen one guy have 315 on the bench, and I've seen him do that multiple times, and that's all he does. So he's definitely a bench press specialist. So
does he do 315 every time?
Yeah, just every time I go, and it's like an hour long.
Is it like exactly 315?
Oh yeah, it's always like 315 even. Like it's just what you go up to. You do 4 reps, kind of walk around for 10 minutes, do 4 more reps. So, hey, stronger than me, but yeah,
it's funny when we talk about that stuff. It makes me like almost miss it in a way, but I'm like,
it is fun to take it in.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah.
The one thing I was going to talk to you about this, and you will relate to this. When you're in a commercial gym, there's always a few people that their whole point in the gym is to let everyone in the gym know how much fun they're having. And I think you remember this firsthand at the previous gym, that there's always a couple guys, maybe there's some girls involved, and their whole thing is like, look at how much fun we're having. Like, and it's not revolving around the lifting. Like lifting is just the thing they have to do to be there. But other than that, it's like just goofing around and laughing and like being the loudest
they're after
people.
the attention. I mean, right?
Yes, the attention of just having a good time. And then it just so happens to be that to be there, they have to lift. So that's the thing that they do on the side. But there's always a couple people like that you catch once in a while too. And I do forget that there's people that get that excited to just go and put on a show.
Yeah, it's an attention thing for sure, though, right?
That's definitely.
Yeah.
And it's like, you're like in high school and you're starting to get a little stronger. So you get all this confidence. You have all this momentum. You haven't had the real world like knock you down enough.
Crush you to death. Yeah. And
the world hasn't like just destroyed your will to live yet.
There's no meaning to anything, and you're just skating through day by day.
Yeah, the world will catch up. Just give it time.
I've probably told this story before. This isn't gym related, but it is really related to that over exaggeration of what I was just saying there. This is a true story. A person at the place of my employment.
I think I know it. I think you've told me this story.
I have told the story before.
But this
is a legit real story that it was a Friday and this was like in a break room scenario. And someone said, well, at least it's, kind of like today sucks balls, but at least it's Friday. Woman made the comment, legitimate, not sarcastic, goes, yeah, but that's just one day closer to Monday. And I was like, oh my God. And it was real. Like, it wasn't like I could see myself saying that as a joke. Be like,
100%.
Yeah, just one day closer to Monday though, right?
Because who the hell would say that? Seriously, it doesn't.
They said that. I'm like, that is maybe the most depressing. If you really think about it, that's the most depressing thing I've ever heard, because I'm like, what in your life is it just that you get enjoyment out of here?
Yeah, just pack it up. It's done. We did it all. There's nothing left.
I'm like, you are that. That's really depressing if you think about it very much, though. That's that's if someone thinks that way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I mean,
like everyone has a bad day at work, but
yep,
like if you can't even look forward to the weekend.
Right. Yeah, you can't even look forward to the weekend. Then I had someone, not quite to that extent, but like Monday, the very first thing, just, hey, how's it going? Well, fine. Only 5 more days till Friday. And I'm like, wow, like that's what you start the week with.
I don't like that.
Like, I get it. We're all excited for the weekend, but To be
You
that's
wish your
like the
life
thing
away
you're
doing
leading
that,
with,
though.
man.
Right.
Yeah. Like, what's the point anymore?
Yeah, that's not good. As someone
Yeah.
that works in I work in a setting like that. If I was like that all the time, it'd be really miserable. Like I
Oh,
don't know,
or if people you work closely with were like that all the time, yeah.
Oh
that would,
boy,
Yep.
I ain't about that.
Ain't about that life. Oh, well, okay. Running through the list here. What do we got next here?
I don't know. Should we do Super Bowl predictions since it's next on the list?
Might as well.
We
Timely,
are pretty well known
relevant.
for our predictions. Yeah, we are very
Especially
well
with
known for-
sports, we're really known for our predictions.
So of course we have the Chiefs of Kansas City and the Eagles from Philadelphia. I think there's South Dakota ties on both of those teams, right?
There
Because
is.
Goddard is the standout tight end from the Eagles.
He's a Western Northeast South Dakota.
He is a Western. Yeah, he's straight up a West, not South Dakota. He's Western Northeast South Dakota.
Mm-hmm.
Some
Just
of
down
you,
the road, you could say.
Yeah. So any of you watching the Super Bowl, make sure to be cheering for Goddard. Actually, what was the deal a few years ago? Did he got punched at the zoo?
Yeah, he did get
At the
punched at the
zoo.
zoo. Yeah, someone kind of jumped him.
Yeah, he got jumped at the zoo bar right here in Western Northeast South Dakota, just not long ago, right?
Yeah, I think was it last year? It was about a year ago, I think.
Yeah. Someone said MFer went top shelf. Yeah, I don't think.
No, it was.
The story
not
was
top
going
shelf.
around like wildfire. I don't think they were top
It
shelf.
was. It was just at the main bar, like right when you walk in, basically.
Yeah. Family restaurant, Big Zach said. Wasn't there something published about it that's called like the zoo, a family restaurant?
So, yeah.
Like
there was a
was
news
like a
report.
Philadelphia article spinning
Yeah.
it like he's just at a family restaurant.
That is the only place that's less of a family restaurant in town than that would be the Silver Dollar, which is the strip club.
The Titty Club.
Yeah, it's not. It's just not a place you take. I mean, your kids aren't even. People aren't even allowed. Minors aren't even allowed after probably like 9 o'clock on. Weekends.
I would feel weird about taking my kid in there even at like 5 p.m. just like
Yeah,
it
you
would just be
definitely
the
wouldn't on the
weirdest
weekends.
place. Yeah,
you could weeknight. You could if you're going to go eat. It wouldn't be that unusual, but yeah,
Right.
Friday bringing kids, anyone under 18 in there on a Friday night would be really unusual, and plus they don't even let you at a certain point.
So that's the highlight of the Super Bowl to me already, is Western Northeast South Dakota's own playing in it. Maybe see if you can't score a TD or so. But so we've got the Chiefs and the Eagles. What are you thinking on predictions?
I don't know, because I really didn't want either one of these teams to make it. I
No.
was really
I was
rooting for
really-
the underdogs, you know.
Yeah, we were really cheering for the Chiefs to not. I wanted to see the Bengals win.
I
in that
100%
game.
did too. 100%. That's why this is a hard one. I guess at this point, the only thing I can hope for is that it's actually a good game.
Right.
Boy, I don't know. Maybe the Eagles. I'm maybe like, as of right now, I'm maybe 51% Eagles. I'm
Are you
almost riding
saying
the line.
wanting to win, or
yeah, maybe wanting to win.
Yeah.
Just because Patrick Mahomes, it feels like, is probably going to be there 10 more times in the next
Right.
12 years. So, yeah, probably go. But I mean, also the Eagles could be there a lot too. I don't know. I'm not super excited for either one of the teams, to be honest.
Right. I'm going to Eagles just because I don't care for the Chiefs that much. Although Patrick Mahomes is pretty likable, I think. But I just I would like to not see. There's quite a few Chiefs fans around here locally. You know, that's maybe they travel well all over the place. But we're geographically, it is probably the third closest team, right, or second closest.
I think
even,
second
depending
closest,
on,
probably
depending on
Minnesota.
where you figure the Broncos are, depending on where you live exactly.
And
in the
Green
state.
Bay's farther still too,
Right.
You know, so
Right.
I would say they're the second closest team outside of Minnesota.
Yeah.
Which is actually really weird for me because it's not far down the road for me at all. You know?
Right.
It is interesting. Someone put Jalen Hurts' open powerlifting link in the Discord here.
Okay.
And he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 meets to his name. That's pretty impressive.
Really? Well, I'm rooting for him if he's a big power lifter now.
Yeah. Best total single ply 1430. And I'm sure at the time he was, doesn't have his age, but Texas high school. It has to be like 17.
We're saying that actually was him then. I thought it
Oh,
was
yeah,
just someone
yeah.
by the same name.
No,
so
no,
he powerlifted in high school at Texas.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. Did you ever see like the clips they had on SportsCenter of him squatting 600 at Alabama or anything like that?
Yeah, I guess that does ring a bell to me. Okay.
They did. Yeah, his best meet. Yeah.
So Jalen Hurts is legit strong then.
He is, yeah. They
Okay.
talk like during some of the games, the announcers will make a big deal like, "Oh, this guy's stronger than a lot of the running backs he's going against," and
Right.
but his best.
Does he look that big? Like he
doesn't look like a freak like some of the guys, but
Right.
apparently he's strong enough. Single ply, his best lifts are squat 570, bench 280, deadlift 585, and I'm assuming that has to be in high school. It's boys. That was the boys Region 4 Division I championships, USA Texas.
Yeah, he and Patrick Mahomes are both Texas guys. Does Patrick Mahomes have any powerlifting meets to his name?
Highly doubt it. Highly doubt it.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was just also going to be like an MLB player, wasn't he? Wasn't he also thought of as a high prospect?
He probably was.
I think he was, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go Eagles too, because
Yeah. Yeah. Eagles, birds.
all right. Anything else on the Super Bowl?
No, but
Rihanna
halftime show. I'm excited for that. I'm cool with that. I'll be curious to see what type of performance she puts on, but I don't mind me some Rihanna.
Yeah, I asked. I didn't know who the Super Bowl halftime show was, and I asked Jack who it was, and he's like, "Oh, I can't remember her name." I'm like, "Is she old or young?" And he said, "Oh, she's pretty old." And then when we figured out who it was, I was like, Rihanna, like she's probably my age, or like she's like she's can't be much older than me, and I think she's like 35.
Yeah. Okay. If you describe someone as middle age, what age range are you talking?
Well, me as a 35-year-old, if
you said they were like
36-year-old. I would say 50, actually. That's kind of what I say is 50 now.
But that doesn't make sense to be middle age at 50, does it?
No, it doesn't. But that's in my head. That's what I think is 50. But yeah,
and that's what I keep catching myself doing. I'm trying to describe someone, and I'll say they're middle age, and I'm thinking, well, not that long ago, I definitely would have said your mid-30s is middle age.
Right.
And in my head, I would have just thought probably 45 and older is just old.
Right.
And I catch myself trying to describe people as middle age, and I think, what actually is middle age? Because it can't just be a sliding scale, and I'm not sure what that age is anymore.
That's what it feels like, though, is a sliding scale to most people probably, where as you get older, you just think it's like, oh, no, I'm young still.
It's just, like you're always young. Middle age is always about 15 years older than you, and then old is just past that.
Yeah. I think realistically, though, I would still say like anything below 45, I could consider middle age.
I would, in my head, I would consider, if you had to tell me to define
40.
it, I would think 35 to 45 are prime middle-aged candidates. But also when I describe,
if you really consider whatever, I don't know what the average age, well, we could get into
I think it's like 70
here,
something.
Right,
yeah.
right.
But yeah, so that's what, like 35 to 45 seems like the prime candidates for middle age. But I'd find myself describing middle-aged people as people in their 50s routinely. And
absolutely.
I do not think that actually fits the category.
No, it doesn't make sense by the math, at least.
No, it does not. On the topic of sports, though, Tanner, you also took in some live sports ball this weekend.
Yeah, we watched them score some touchdowns at the Minnesota Timber. We took in a Timberwolves game. They're playing the Nuggets from Denver, and we went and watched kind of a spur of the moment deal. I found tickets on a Friday afternoon, and we went on Sunday. We made the trip, and it was fun. Me and my son went, and it's just it's a fun experience. We got closer seats than we have in the past, and it's cool being part of the right up in the action. And like that's with any of the live sporting events, it's just kind of being that the game is 50% of the experience. It is most times,
especially now with how many TV breaks there are and all that other stuff.
It's like a circus in between the. There's like
the game almost feels like a sideshow to whatever this entertainment thing that's going on is.
Yeah, it's like that. And it was cool. I didn't see any Massenomics stuff though. Nobody called me out for having Massenomics stuff on. That was a bit of a disappointment.
Yeah,
but,
no kidding.
Otherwise, it was really good.
Do you feel like you're becoming kind of an expert on attending Timberwolves games now? You know the ins and outs
Kind
of the
of.
system.
I kind of feel. I mean, if at the least, I have the system down of the way I like to do it
Yeah.
pretty well now. Where I'm like, we actually we did go outside, but we could have never gone outside. You know, if it would have been
taking
colder,
the skyway,
Yeah,
you're
like-
saying? Yeah.
just go from the parking garage to the hotel to the stadium, and it's all connected, which is nice. I mean, we do go outside just to, because that's part of the fun for us is just you know, looking
that
up at
one-
the
for that one
skyscrapers
block,
and getting
yeah.
dizzy. You know, and
Yeah.
being like, oh.
Yeah.
I can't imagine living downtown in a big city. And I know
I
more
know.
people, you know, it's very common. Obviously, that's why there's population there, but it would be wild to me, like for that to be the normal experience where I'm like, I can't find grass.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And well, to imagine having a family or dogs and we're definitely the outsiders because statistically way more people live in these dense urban centers than,
right.
than the situations we live in. But we're just so far removed from it. It's hard to imagine that lifestyle at all.
It is. So that was our trip. Good stuff there. Oh, we're getting into the really exciting stuff now, actually.
We are. I'm actually getting thirsty.
Okay.
I don't know if you have a beverage over there.
I've got a beverage right here in this
I think
this little number.
I can't make any guarantees, but if everything goes according to plan, I'll be dropping off a shipment of some exotic beverages this weekend.
Are we going to try and time things up?
I think so. Cherry Coke. Cherry.
What do you got exactly?
Cherry bubbly.
Okay. I've got a apricot LaCroix.
Have we had that before?
I bet we have.
Okay. That's
It's
just not a
not too
flavor that
bad.
appeals to me, so.
This is a classic 3.5 to me.
Is it?
3.5 star, yeah.
I'm not sure that one
I
would
think it's
actually
better
do
than
it for me.
Easily better than mango.
Oh, yeah. Mango's not a flavor for me, though, so.
This for a LaCroix, this packs a little bit of a flavor punch.
Do they need to tone it down a little bit?
Yeah,
Or
like where are you coming from on this one?
stay in their lane, tone down the flavor?
Way better than mango, but then again, what isn't better than mango? Oh, delicious. Now we can proceed now that we've got that.
Here we go.
under our
Yep,
belt.
now we're satisfied. Now, what do we want to do? We got some really exciting things here.
We got a new drop to talk about, but let's not talk about the new drop just yet. But let's
should we
hang
wait?
on to that for a little bit. Yeah.
Do we want to talk about some of the new stuff we're going to be doing?
I think so. This is to me, this is pretty exciting. This, along with the new drop, is the most exciting portion of this episode. If you ask
It
me.
is. So, do you want to hit them with it? Hit them with the big news?
Yeah. So I'll caveat this with we have kind of tried to do this before.
We've
So-
had this exact plan in place
So
and
take-
said all these things.
Yeah, so take all of this with a grain of salt, as we'll see. Although we have proved to show strong commitment to other things we've done throughout the history of Massenomics, like a podcast that we haven't missed the episode of for 7 years, Instagram account that we post twice a day for all of history. But one area that we've always wanted to do better on and haven't done that consistently yet is YouTube. But as of right now, we've started to make a few YouTube videos. We actually have some in the hopper right now. As you hear this, our first sort of weekly episode drop. We're thinking about midweek, Wednesday, Thursday-ish time frame. Most weeks. I don't want to say every week because that's not the commitment I'm ready to make that we're ready to make. I don't think
I think in our head right now, we're like, we need a minimum of 2 a month.
Yes.
is
If
where
we can
we're
hit
at.
at least 2 a month, then we're pretty cool with that. But they're gonna be. Well, we've already made a couple. They're produced and just ready to post. Actually,
We're just
And,
loading that up, getting the
yeah.
backlog going.
and they're not going to be extremely long. They're not going to be in-depth reviews. They're not going to be intellectual deep dives of anything. They're more vlog-style videos. Hopefully some of them are a little bit fun. Some of them will just be kind of like a peek behind the curtain at Massenomics, at Massenomics Gym, stuff like that. And I think they'll hopefully continue to get a little bit better as we go. I think from the first one I did to the second one, we already talked about it, that it was, the second one is better than the first one I made. And that's just, just between one video.
Go.
Right. But we're also, the goal isn't like the most polished product ever. We're trying to make some videos and get them out there.
Keep something fun and put it out there. Yeah, it doesn't need to be until we're at a point where we are doing this and only this. We just can't dedicate that much time to have these major. We can't spend 5 hours filming a video and 15 more hours editing it. Like it's just, and that's kind of what we thought we were going to do before. And it's like, well, no, there's just not enough hours in our lives to do that. So these are more just quick and dirty, getting them out there, but still making sure that there's some fun and something entertaining in them.
So there's a couple in the hopper now. One of them, what is that first one? I guess it's we get getting the new belt squat delivered to the gym, and it's just kind of a little bit about that. The second one is about some Dinny stone lifting and kind of my plans with the road to Scotland on the Dinny stone. So that sort of thing, like you were working on some already.
I have a little weekly I have a training recap for this current week because I'm on an RP 10 week in Juggernaut. So it seems like a week worth highlighting. So we'll have that. And then if everything goes according to plan, this week I'll be in Western Northeast South Dakota, and we will possibly film 1 or 2 more while I'm there because we had some additional ideas. So
yeah.
And then the Arnold's coming up. That's travel vlogs. There's just all types of good things in the works.
Yes. So we're excited. Please check them out. Make sure you're subscribing to our YouTube channel if you haven't, and check them out. Let us know what you think. Leave a comment, like them, share them around if you want to. Whatever it takes. We're excited to. I'm excited for it to see what we can do with it.
Mm-hmm. To see what type of response we get.
Right.
So like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell. Let us know what you like, what you want to see.
It is funny though, because I'm very used to this form where we talk for like 2 hours.
Oh, we just ramble. And for some reason people listen. We just go on and on. And we never shut up.
And I'm struggling, I'm figuring it out a little bit, but it's a struggle. These videos are not going to be very long either. These aren't 15-minute vlogs. These are 3, 4, 5, 6-minute videos. Like that's what we're aiming for. We have to keep them reasonable in order for us. By keeping them reasonable length and relatively not intensive on the editing, that's what can hopefully get us to keep doing it for a longer period of time, like what you were describing. And I'm kind of losing my train of thought of that. I'm so used to this that when I try to do a concise 3-minute video, it's like, I just talked for 9 minutes and I wanted that to be 2 minutes long.
Start it over.
Yes.
I did just feel inspired by Big Matt's comment in the Discord. He said, what's the deal with the Rock Outside Qdoba? You could do a whole series of Aberdeen landmarks, Tanner, between Brock the Rock, Taco John's, Pizza Ranch, the zoo. That could be like a weekly update on the lowdown and what's going on with all these places.
See, that would be very Massenomics appropriate, right?
Mm-hmm. And there's also just has that South Dakota charm to it,
Yes, absolutely. I don't know. So that's kind of what where we're aiming for on this YouTube thing, right? I don't know.
Yeah,
I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be interesting.
Yeah, we're just gonna crank some videos out and we'll see how it goes. And we might after a few months decide this is not worth our time, and then we can finally say, well, we gave it an honest shot. Or we might say, hey, there's actually something here, and we can dedicate more time to it.
Yeah, if we see a response to it, and I don't know what the measuring stick is for us thinking it's successful, but if it has a feeling around it, like people
it's worthwhile
enjoying
in
it,
some way.
yeah, right, then I could see us sticking out with it.
So be on the lookout.
Yeah, and hit us with your suggestions on what you'd like to see in those too. Like, we're definitely open to suggestions on those, but we've got quite a few ideas, but maybe you guys are thinking some areas that we aren't thinking of that would be good.
Should we read some ads right now?
I don't know why we wouldn't.
All right. Do you want to take it away?
Sure. What are we going to do? Are we going to kick people off or let them stay on longer on this one?
Maybe we'll let them stay. We'll see.
Okay.
They just have to promise to watch it 4 times on YouTube and download it 10 times in the podcast player.
We'll see how their behavior is. We'll do a behavior check on them later and go from there, depending on behavior, of course. I am going to hit you with something special here.
This is the Strength Company. We've set out to build a better barbell plate on American soil. We ended up here at Wisconsin's legendary Wapaka Foundry. With over 60 years of ironworking experience, the foundry had the knowledge, technology, and processes to build our weights to our exact specifications. The Strength Company plates are slim but rugged, smooth but easy to grip, and electro-coated for durability and to look great in your gym. This is the next generation of American iron. Only available from the Strength Company.
And important to note, we just got a few new Strength Co plates at Massenomics Gym. We got a couple more pairs of 25s as well as a new pair of 5s. And you might say, why did you get 4 25s and 2 5s? And of course, it's because we're switching to the model we talked about in last week's episode, where we're gonna go strictly all 25s.
Not just going to talk about that life, going to live that life.
Yeah, we are going to put our money where our mouth is on all 25s. Actually, though, it is for the 2 big red 6-post racks. It's just mostly an aesthetic thing that I thought that's what those needed, just to make them look full.
They were all out of balance.
Yeah, I was out of whack, out of balance. I was 1 pair of 5 short on one of the racks, so I got that filled out, and then I just thought each rack needed a 3rd set of 25s on them.
So could you say that half of the gym is complete as far as weights go?
I'm feeling like it's pretty complete.
Now, at what point do the eyeballs start looking at the bench area?
Yeah, that's the tricky thing. I'm not going to get rid of the York plates, but everything could shift.
I know.
Everything could
shift. It's the shift.
Yeah, everything could shift down farther, where the York plates go to the half rack and the bench area gets all new Strength Co plates, and that could happen at some point in time for sure. I don't know when it's going to happen yet, but I'm going to, obviously no matter what, I'm not going to get rid of the Strength. At a certain point, I end up with almost too many plates.
Yeah, that is part of the problem.
But then I could sell some of the old,
the worst
standard,
ones.
Right?
Yeah.
So, because there's probably about, 15 sets of 45s of those that I'm not particularly
is there that
attached
many?
to. Yeah, because they're on that rolling bells of steel rack by the strongman area, which I like those plates actually for the strongman area, because they can take a beating and I don't care. But with actually the new belt squat and some stuff on the other side, then my thought is, well, maybe I could upgrade the plates on that side of the gym too. With the belt squat and the weight, leg press, hip sled.
The belt squat. We haven't talked about the belt squat.
We haven't talked about the belt squat.
Okay, we got to get through these ads, then we'll touch on that, because I actually haven't talked to you about that basically at all.
Yeah.
But today's show is also brought to you by a company. And before I tell you who it's by, I want you to close your eyes and picture yourself wearing the hottest new Romanian wool long coat, or maybe a British fleece jacket, or maybe an Italian OD parka with liner, or just maybe a Romanian M90 leaf pattern parka with a liner as well. That's right, we're shopping at Swisslink, baby. They have all of the great things from military forces around the world. Countries like, basically all of them you can think of. While you're at Swisslink, you can pick up things like backpacks, tools, wool blankets, NATO fuel cans, gas masks, emergency food, first aid kits, survival packs, camping gear, and so much more. Right now on their homepage, they have this little thing called a new Swiss Military Reserve Woodman axe featured, and it's maybe one of the nicest looking.
Could we order
axes.
those as? Would that like semi? Could that potentially be considered a sword award?
Actually, probably works better for Western Northeast South Dakota than a sword. And then we could probably engrave the handle. This is
what do you think? We can actually get to this more later, but what do you think about custom axes as prizes for the Lift Hard Live Easy Classic?
That's pretty cool. They also have a Swiss Army pickaxe here, so if you need to do some digging around, there's that as well. But anyways, as always with SwissLink, it's an impressive selection that's unmatched anywhere on the internet. And if you want to hop into some of this good stuff for yourself, make sure to go to swisslink.com and use code MASS, M-A-S-S, at checkout to save 15% off your first order. Thank you, SwissLink.
Thanks, SwissLink. I want a little bit of everything that they've got there.
I want it all.
I want it all. Okay. What about a little supporting our supporting members? How about
we
check that a little bit?
Let's do it.
Okay. I thought this was pretty cool. Big Matt Harris hit a lifetime bench PR of 315 pounds. So that would be deserving of the bench in 315 shirt. I don't know if he's got it again, but
there's not many PRs in life that feel better than the first time you bench three plates.
Yeah, benching 3 plates is a big one, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Although that being said, I can't recall the first time that I benched 3 plates.
I can remember, but I cannot remember the first time I squatted 4 plates or deadlifted 4 plates because benching 3 plates just seemed like so much more of a landmark in my head.
I can't really remember. The only things I can remember are I can't remember the first time I benched 4 plates. I can remember the first time I benched 455. That's really the only specific memory I have. It was at the YMCA, and
you did at the Y bench 455 there?
Yeah, right towards the very end, and it was on one of those YMCA benches.
Yeah,
and that's part of how I remember it all. It wasn't a great. I mean, it was an unassisted rep. It wasn't like a competition rep though, or anything like that. And I remember that, and I remember, when I deadlifted 700 pounds, but that was in a competition, and like that. Those are the only 2 things I really, and I don't even count the 700 because that's in a competition. So I remember like all the competition stuff.
It's harder to say for competition to stand out or to be flagged different. But I for me, benching 315, I remember because we'd just gotten the first Massenomics gym, and we had that new bench. It was the blue one, which is now long gone. Remember that one?
Oh yeah. The original blue bench.
And it's like, oh, damn, this is what it feels like to bench on a pad that's not 8 inches wide, like a pad that's actually the correct width.
Repeatonomics remembers the blue bench.
Oh, yeah. Yes. And I don't even think we were down there for a month, and I benched 315, and I was pretty hyped on that.
Yeah. Yeah. So congratulations to Big Matt. In this week's supporting our supporting member segment, we're mostly talking about us.
I'm glad you remembered what we were talking about because it just turned into our own PR talk there.
In this week's segment where we thank all of you, we're mostly talking about some of our favorite lifts of ourselves. Our own. Yeah. What is the meme is Obama placing the medal on himself, right?
That's what we're doing.
Yeah. For anyone who doesn't know, that this is a relatively new segment of the podcast, though, where we give back to our supporting members each week. We pick a few of them who've done some cool stuff, and we like to recognize them. That's part of one of the perks that they get of being a supporting member. There's more perks than I could ever mention within the constraints of this podcast, but also you get access to our very exclusive Discord community. It's a very active community of like-minded individuals. It's a whole bunch of fun. You get to listen along to the podcast live each week through the Discord. There's a chat going on right now for those that are listening and getting in on the action. You also get discount codes that can be used on our site. You get early access or early information on drops, and actually early access also. Both are true. So those are just some of the mini perks for becoming a supporting member. Also, we do special random mailings. You get exclusive items that nobody else gets a shot of snagging. So please get signed up. We love to have you in there. One more very important supporting member right here, Big Derek Foal. Amy Rose would like to wish you a special Valentine's Day. You are her favorite jabroni. She appreciates the junk show you put on in your cutoff Hoochie Daddy Massenomics shorts when you work out, and you are the best pig daddy ever from your wife.
Wow. That is heartfelt.
Yeah.
What a
Yeah. So
message.
happy Valentine's Day to Big Derek Full, supporting member of the Massenomics, longtime supporting member, Big Derek. So thank you. That's it for supporting our supporting members this week. But not it
Okay.
forever. We'll be back for more.
Tana, there's a little event coming up shortly in the Massenomics world that we haven't actually talked a ton about compared to years past. And that event would be the Arnold.
The Arnold. Yeah, that's right. That's the time that this comes out. We decided we are how long from the Arnold?
Well,
Is it
by the
just
time
3
this comes out-
weeks?
yeah, I think it's 3 weeks. Yes.
3 weeks from the Arnold being over. The time this comes out, we're only 2.5 weeks around from leaving.
1, 2. Yeah. True. 2.5. So we're only 17-ish days.
Yeah.
It's getting down there.
It is. We're making a lot of preparation still. We're kind of in crunch time, I would say. We've got, on my end, we've got gear coming in all the time that we've ordered over the last month or two, starting to get that inventory ready for us to take there. Folding hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of shirts.
Yeah.
Hundreds of flags coming in, more stocking hats, bunch of stuff. We're actually...
Some new items.
Yeah, so a couple new items, and we won't elaborate on this because we don't know if it's going to be there or not.
Well, we're allowed to elaborate
Yeah.
as much or as little as we want, and we're going to elaborate as little as we want.
That
right
sounds
now.
like druthers, if
Yeah.
I've ever heard druthers. And we do have one ultra top secret product. We're not sure if it'll be ready for the Arnold or not. If it does happen to be, it's going to rock people's worlds.
It is.
Take
We're
things
gonna
to the
be
entirely another level.
changing the game.
Yes, we are not going to sit by on the sidelines and watch everyone else pass us up this time. We are going to be game changers, but we're not positive if that's going to be ready for the Arnold, but fingers crossed it could be. So that's kind of where I'm at right now in the Arnold is I'm just working on getting that inventory stuff ready. And then you were today working on a bunch of our display
Signage,
stuff,
display stuff. I
yeah.
think we got most of that taken care of. Also, when I think of the Arnold this year, now the number of unknowns in our head is so much smaller than what it used to be. Last year we had never set up the full booth as it exists right now with all of our table throws and backdrops and banners and all. We'd never used all of that before. The Arnold last year was the first time ever. And now that we've done that now multiple times, it just feels like we kind of got a system. We know how this works. We know things fit here. We know where to put them. It just feels way more. I mean, it's still going to be a ton of work, but the unknown factor of, are we screwing this up? Are we doing this right? It's like, no, we do know what we're doing now. And
That's true.
Makes it feel so much more comfortable from that standpoint.
Yeah, I'm the type of person that has, I get anxiety over things. I get anxious about us getting things done and, just the unknown. I want to know everything.
Yes, the night before the Arnold, actually, it keeps ramping up. Usually it's like, okay, you're starting to get kind of anxious, like, okay, are we going to do this? Is everything going to go good? And then you leave for the Arnold and you're excited, but then it's a day in the car. And then the night before you get to set up, it's like anxiety's really cranking up. And then you set the booth up and it's like, okay, now tomorrow is the actual day. Then it's like, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? And then usually after that first day, you're like, okay, it all worked out. We're all good.
Yeah.
Now we're just totally beat down from 3 and 4 days of travel and setup. We just got to survive 2 more days.
From the 3 or 4 days prior to that of the extreme anxiety, just like the mental stress.
It is. It's the mental thing that just gets you so much there. But hopefully now that we've done
we have
this
a lot
few
riding
times,
on the line, and
we do.
not in the sense that if nobody bought anything, we're not
out
leaving.
anything, but there's just a lot that to be had if things go good.
Right. But I do think I have maybe my least anxiety ever going into it right now which is probably just a moderate level for most people, which I'm like, feels pretty good though, that I'm like, I'm not like losing sleep over the thoughts about everything. But that's also concerning. Is it like, am I letting my guard down? Should we be more worried right now?
I'm slipping in my old age. Here we go.
Like I should really be losing more
edge.
sleep 5 weeks away from this. I should really like at 12 o'clock p.m. lay awake in my bed thinking about how are
Did
we
we
really going to be
remember-
able to fit that many shirts in there?
Did I remember to write down to pack the labels for the sizing? And how many markers did I remember to pack? Like just all that dumb stuff, you know?
That is real stuff, though.
It is. It is.
Sometimes I think it'd be easier to be someone that doesn't like if we didn't worry about some.
Oh,
like
well,
some people go with the flow more on things like that.
Yep. Because it's just the thing of you don't know what you don't know. So
Right. But historically, it has proved to be pretty well where we end up pretty prepared.
It has, and it's made life pretty easy for us as the week goes on and selling and all that stuff.
Except for that first year of the booth when we were trying to set up.
My anxiety level was pretty low that year because I had no idea what we were going into.
That was more like the you don't know what you don't know
Yeah,
sort
it's
of
like,
thing.
oh, damn, you mean our backdrop is 5 feet tall and we're both 6 feet tall? Oh, and we cover up the whole thing? God, how did we not think of that before we left?
And wait, should we have had a sign that has our name on it?
Yeah, well,
that would make sense to have a sign that says
the
Massenomics.
booth does come with our name and the letters are an inch tall. Yeah, that's all we got. That's good enough, I guess. No one needs to know who we are. That is probably the funniest part of thinking, like, yep, we're going to go somewhere and sell stuff, but there will be nothing that says our name on it.
At all, almost.
Yeah.
It looks like layout wise positioning, we're in a similar we're going to be in a similar location to last year for anyone that was there. I think our booth is actually technically number 201. We're in one of the first corners when you just walk in there, and we're going to be around some fun other booths there where we've got Live Large. Of course, we're always close to them. We've always have been every year that we've been there. We keep them in our sights because you keep is it right? You keep your friends close and your enemies closer, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Live Large is just a little bit away. Obsidian Ammonia should be right next to us. So Big Travis will be right there. We can keep our nose on him.
Exactly. Or away from him. It's one of the two.
True. Big Meg Squats will be right behind us. We were right next to them last year, and they were a fun group. I don't know if it's Buff Chick Supplements or what exactly.
Yeah, I believe so.
What business entity it is that's behind us. But then it looks like Matt Vincent will be right across from us in Not Hate Yet. Is that right?
Something like that.
They'll be across from us. Who else is? Late entry to the party,
Yes.
but ever important. Huck Finn Barbell will be just right
Throwing
across from Obsidian, right next to Matt Vincent. Right
throwing
in our
his hat into the ring.
Yeah.
So I think we're both very excited to see him show up because I know he's been talking about it for months on the podcast, but never committing.
Yeah.
And it looks like he is officially committed.
I'm really excited, A, that they're going, and B, that they're right next to us. Karen messaged on Instagram and made sure to she sent us the map that they got in right there. So we're excited. She said she's got a lot of shirts to get ready for.
Got a lot of shirts to get ready.
Yeah.
Yep, that's a lot of work. Well, along the lines of Let's Get Stupid, there's the C Team podcast now. Do you think one of us would ever be a guest on that thing?
Oh, I bet they'd be interested in having us on there, wouldn't they? So I think what I take from it, the C Team podcast is kind of a recap show of the Let's Get Stupid podcast.
Mm-hmm. They don't have Repeatonomics or Recentonomics, but they do have a recap podcast show. So
that's funny. We don't have a recap podcast show.
I know.
Maybe we should just start our own recap show. We'll just do 2 of these a week.
There we go.
You know what I would like? I would like Repeatonomics and Recentonomics to co-host a recap show Repeatonomics just wants to talk about the old episodes and Recentonomics just want to talk about the most current week episode, and it's kind of an oil-water mixture.
And then maybe get a call, maybe get a guest on once in a while too, someone from the Discord, get their opinion on what's going on.
That's funny. Arnold, layout-wise, other of note, the Strength Co. has a big island booth. You know, Grant was on a few weeks ago, and we talked about that. Of course, they're in a little bit different spot than us, but we'll be milling around back and forth between their area and ours all weekend, I think, right?
Oh, yeah. Yes. Yeah, we got lots of catching up with Grant to do.
Yeah. I'm excited for it. It's just crazy how fast it's coming, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
The days are slow, but the weeks go by really fast.
I was wondering what way you're going to go with that.
It equally doesn't
days
or
are
does
long,
make sense.
but the weeks are short.
Yeah. What are you wearing? The Get a Grip tee over there?
I am. Kind of fancy, isn't it?
Do you? I didn't know you. I didn't even know if I've ever seen you wear the Get a Grip tee.
Yeah, I wear it pretty much every week. Once a week, it's in the rotation.
Do you have this shirt? I don't know if I've ever seen you wear this shirt.
Oh, I was going to say that's probably the shirt I wear the most out of any of them.
I'm wearing the Dark Side tee.
That is until one of these new ones appear.
Oh, segue.
What one should I show them? The one with the
one. Let's tell them when it is.
Okay, right.
So this drop will be Thursday. The
February
Thursday after
16th.
this comes out, the 16th. So new YouTube video dropping 15th. New drop dropping.
Actually, back it up.
Okay.
Podcast on YouTube dropping on the 12th, like always.
Yeah.
Dropping on audio on the
dropping
13th.
on 13th.
YouTube
14th
video.
is a rest day. That's God intended.
14th is the rest day. New YouTube video on the 15th. New drop on the 16th. Man, next week is almost a holiday as far as Massenomics goes.
It's like Massenomics Hanukkah.
It is. 8 crazy nights of Massenomics. So what items should I show?
The drop, we've got 2 new tees, brand new tees, completely new. I'm pumped about the new tees. And
I'm very excited for both of these.
A new late winter hoodie that we've got available. And this would be your chance to get
late winter. You say late winter. I say early spring.
Well, that's
Tomato,
what you Southerners down there would call this early spring. But
it does feel like early spring. It's been damn near 40 here.
I mad at ourselves for waiting for minute 57 to talk about the weather, but yeah, it's been really nice. It could stay like this and I wouldn't be disappointed.
Oh man, it is. It's a welcome break.
Yeah. And then the new hoodie that's going to be coming out too. So what are we're going to tease them with? We're going to show them. Are we going to show them one of the brand new tees? We're going to unveil it live on this show.
I think we should. What one do you think? I have them both here. I'm looking at both just off camera. What one do you think we should show them?
Oh, I don't know. These are both really good ones. Right.
They are.
Which one do you think pops more?
Well,
the one with color pops more, I suppose.
Probably. But what one do I want to show them?
I think people might be pretty excited to see the other one. The one that is. I don't know. What do you think?
That's the one I was leaning towards.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll show them this one. Here's the front chest, and this is the Massenomics metal tee. We got to actually, I don't know. We might have a better name for this.
Just for the live, yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah. There we go.
And this one's fun because just in the Discord within the last couple of weeks, once we already had this made, people were suggesting almost this exact shirt. Multiple people were saying, we need this shirt, and providing multiple examples that were pretty much this shirt that we already had made. And I almost could not contain my excitement for wanting to say, you asked for it, we already made it.
Yep. This is already in production. We're just waiting for it to ship while you guys are talking about it.
And
so
what was the upper back?
Oh, yeah. And then on the upper back, we got the distressed.
Yeah. So
Massenomics logo.
What's the official name of this tee? Do we?
I don't know. We got to decide on that still.
Is that a whip work in progress?
I think so. Yeah. So we'll still work on that. But I really like this one. Black T-shirt. We got the grungy, distressed. I don't know. What do you want to say? Death metal, doom metal, black metal logo on it, and then lift hard, live easy underneath it. So
that shirt really rocks.
Yeah, it freaking rocks, man. And then you got the Massenomics M on the upper back. So I am excited for this one. I'm very, very happy to throw it in the rotation.
Mass metal.
And then we do, like Tanner said, we have another T-shirt here, but I don't think we can spill the beans on that one.
No, we got to leave some surprises for Thursday, right?
Yeah, 2 surprises at least.
Yeah, and this is a quality drop. It might be some of our best work in 2023 yet, I think.
Maskcore, I kind of like that. It might be the Maskcore shirt. But yeah, this is a good drop to get right before the Arnold to send us on our way.
This would be your chance to get this stuff before the Arnold because I bet we'll sell a good chunk of it there. So this will be your chance to snag some of it. Maybe you buy them all and we don't even have any to take there, and everyone at the Arnold misses out on these.
That'd
new
be
items.
one way to solve the problem, wouldn't it?
Yeah. So I'm pumped about that new drop.
Metalnomics isn't bad either.
Not bad.
Not bad. There's something there. There.
Okay. Well, maybe we could hit on just well, actually, how about this? Do you want to, what about we do overrated, underrated for this episode?
Let's do it.
And maybe a couple ads and finish up with maybe one fun little topic after the ads.
Okay. You got me. Yes, I'm sold. Let's do it.
And you're fairly familiar at this point with the rules for overrated, underrated?
Yeah, got a vague idea.
Okay. We're going to hop right into it then, assuming you know that you get your druthers. You can elaborate as much as little as you'd like. You just have to remember you cannot ride the line. As much as you may want to, line riding is strictly prohibited.
The closest I can go is 51.49, right?
Please keep your arms and legs inside the over-under vehicle at all times and do not ride onto the line.
On one side of the line at all times.
Overrated or underrated? The Super Bowl.
So I will say, without even knowing from experience, just from what I've seen and gathered, I think going to the Super Bowl in person would be very overrated. Right?
Yeah.
Like no one's there. So few of the people that are there are actually fans of those teams. It's just a rich people's thing to say you went to it.
That's true.
I think
what if you got to be one of those people awkwardly standing down on the field for the halftime show?
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
everyone
looks
there
like
is
the weirdest thing when they're down there.
Yeah, everyone there's there just to basically be like the NPCs, the computer generated people, so that the rest of us on watching on TV can be like, oh look, there's people there. Like that's almost the only reason those people exist,
Yes.
But the Super Bowl, I don't know. As far as sports go, it's probably the biggest championship game, right? That people care about.
Oh yeah.
No one cares about the World Series. People.
Well, part of it is the one game.
It's just one game, and I know they got that going.
Yeah.
And that does add a lot to the excitement too. Is that it is one game, like everything that's
you can't hold anything back.
Yeah, it's just you got to do it, and that is kind of what's cool. That is what is outside of, the NCAA basketball tournament.
Yeah.
There's not very many sporting events where the championship does come down to just a game and not a series of some kind. So that does add an element to it that does make it really exciting, but. I don't know. This is a really hard one, actually. I'm really struggling with this. I don't know. Is it underrated? I'll say it's underrated. Because I still watch it. If I really thought it was overrated, I wouldn't watch it. So I'll say it's underrated.
Okay. Overrated or underrated? Valentine's Day. I think that's also that's one of these days in all that Massenomics week stuff. That's one of those days, right?
It is, and I mean
the 14th. That was our rest day, right?
Well, there we go. That's why it's a rest day because it's Valentine's Day. This is one that you just want to say overrated right away, but then you're like, well, but everyone would say that. So is it actually overrated or is it underrated?
Thing, right? Yeah, cause that's a good point. What would they call it? It's a Hallmark holiday. Is that a good descriptor of Valentine's Day?
I still think you'd be hard pressed to find people that would say Valentine's Day is underrated, though, wouldn't you? Like it's not rated highly. People don't take it seriously enough. Don't embrace the holiday spirit. I think Valentine's Day is still overrated.
Yeah.
especially at this point, it's just another commercialized thing to just
big
get you to
time
buy
is.
more crap, and then everyone
Most
in
of
the
that's
world.
crap too. Like
It
I don't know,
is.
like it's
It
crap,
is.
like teddy
It
bears
is.
and chocolates and
It
stuff,
is,
you know?
unless like they want you to buy jewelry, which now you're on a whole nother level of spending when you're
Right.
talking jewelry. And then you want to go eat out, but you can't because everyone in the world is
Oh.
trying to get to Applebee's on that night, and so just the roads are plugged, and it's
My wife and I would typically take the thought like, we'll go out like not that night and like do the same thing, only not then, if that's what
we had done
do.
the last few years before we had kids. Is if we felt like going out that night, we'd just wait until 8 o'clock, and then most people would be gone by then. Especially if it's if Valentine's is on a weekday, then it's like, okay, it's just like a regular night at that point. But yeah, it still is. It is overrated for sure.
Good. Overrated or underrated? LeBron James.
You're hitting me with some tough ones tonight.
Timely topic here. All timely topics up to this point.
It is, because he's now the all-time scoring leader.
Yeah. Passed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar just last night.
See, this one's, I think, tricky because every person, especially if you're a basketball fan, is going to have very strong opinions on where LeBron sits in the greatest of all time. You know,
It's the never-ending discussion.
And it is, and I'm not a super active basketball fan. I wouldn't even say I'm an active basketball fan of any kind. I just very occasionally tune in, so I don't get too tied up in that. So it doesn't bug me a whole lot. But it's hard to say he's underrated. It's the easy answer is to say LeBron's overrated. That is the easy answer for sure.
Oh, that's what. But there again, it's like, well, if everyone says that, is that, you know, like that's what.
Yeah, and then you got to say, well, but also he's the number one scorer. Does he have 5 championships? How many does he have?
Oh, I don't think and he also lost like 6 championships too. That's part of the.
But then look how many years he took a Cavs team with. How many does he have? Oh, I thought maybe
4.
Okay, 4.
Yeah, 4.
But then you look at how many years in the East he took a Cavs team with no one
2
on
with
it.
Miami, 1 with Cleveland, and 1 with they won the bubble year with the Lakers.
Okay.
'Cause people always criticize that one because it's different or something.
Yes.
But I think they lost, like, I don't know. He's lost in the finals like 5 times or something like that too.
Yeah, but didn't he make it to the Eastern Conference? Or didn't he make it to the NBA Finals like 9 straight years or something, 10 straight years?
And there's some funny infographics where he was like on Cleveland teams that made it to the finals, and you know how there'd be like a promotional image for the game that shows like the star players on both teams.
It's like Anderson and
it'll be
Varejao,
like
maybe.
the meme will be like, this was a real image that was used by TNT or whatever, and it'll be like I don't know, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green, and then it'll be LeBron and 2 like horseshit guys that couldn't carry the water bucket on the.
Yeah, ones that people that are young, like your son, probably, who does like basketball, guys he's never heard of and would just think they're made up names, you know, because the teams the people he was taking to the finals with him were just crazy some of those years.
Yes.
The Heat team being a definite exception to that, but
one of his strongest attributes to me is being so good for so long.
Yes, the longevity thing
you know, it's
is
like crazy.
Yeah,
like he's obviously like a crazy athlete, like always has been and still is, and I kind of think like he is just second to me to Michael Jordan still, and that would be like probably still the most popular opinion. But I'm not actually personally like I wasn't a Michael fan, but there is just something about the winning of Michael Jordan that is tough to beat even through statistics, because statistically LeBron has and will become like the greatest lifetime statistically player in like by most of those metrics, I think, you know, like most of those all-time metrics, but that's not the only part of the debate, I guess.
I think I'll go underrated. I think he's a good player. He is one of the best of all time. And there's just so many people that would say he's overrated that it's also hard to say that he is overrated when the consensus among so many is that he is already overrated. I think
he's got a lot of haters, doesn't he?
Oh, a ton. And that's just comes with the territory of being good.
You know what I would give him credit for, though, being that popular for this long and never like, what's his biggest criticism? Like, I don't know. He's kind of like, maybe like annoying on social media sometimes or something like that.
I think people like to make fun of his tweeting style.
Right.
I know there was a couple of years ago weren't people mad that he wasn't taking a big enough stand against China and things like that.
Okay.
And,
yeah.
but man,
but overall, I mean, like he's been a pretty good
he's managed to stay pretty under the radar for the most
Right.
part. And I'm sure if you're a big time NBA fan, you can probably say, well, he did this and this and this. But really, as far as being under the spotlight as much as he is, he's kept a pretty low profile for his 20 plus years he's been in the spotlight now.
Right. Okay. And last topic, and the last one is usually worth all of the marbles. It all comes down to this. So overrated or underrated glizzies?
Glizzies. God, honestly, I'm not much of a glizzy guy. I think we've talked about this. I'd rather have a brat any day of the week if I really had to decide. But with that being said, sometimes a hot dog is pretty good too.
How do you feel about the term glizzy?
It's funny. I don't. Do you know where it comes from?
I do not know what the root of origin of glizzy is.
Let's find the etymology of. According to Alexa Answers, a glizzy is a hot dog. It was originally a slang term for gun in Washington, D.C., but according to Hip Hop DX, it became a name for hot dogs because the length of the barbecue staple is similar to the extended clip of a gun. I don't know. It just, I'm assuming it was one of those dumb things that's for some reason caught on. But
yeah.
I think glizzies are a little overrated. There's a lot of food that I would pick before a hot dog.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna say glizzies are a little overrated. Now you put me in a sports setting, I'll take one all day. Like that's probably the best setting to have one in. But yeah, glizzies are overrated.
Yeah, that is the setting to have it in my opinion.
I think that was the last time I had one actually at the when I went to that ASU football game this past fall.
Right.
I had a glizzy there.
My gripe though is, I'm a big fan. I go to most of our local colleges basketball games
and get the wolf glizzies.
Yeah, and the wolf glizzy. Although, like with the schedule this year and when they're playing and stuff, a lot of times I have no time to eat before I go to the game, and I'm forced to like try to get something at the game. And when you actually like want a meal, like the average game food sucks.
There's
I'm
just
like,
not
so
much
the best I can get is a
substance.
hot dog or like fake cheese nachos or like a slice of shitty pizza.
If you're lucky, a walking taco that maybe has more meat on it than what
A
it normally
little bit
does.
of ground beef in it. Like I'm like, God, could someone make like a pulled pork sandwich or something like something that I could get that has like a substantial amount of
that isn't just
meat
pure
in it.
garbage.
Right, like just give me something half garbage. I'm not against a little garbage,
And then like my dessert can be the glizzy to finish
right,
it all off.
Right. And that's been kind of my complaint this year as I go into all those games. I'm like, God, I have no problem like them gouging me on the price. Just give me something that's like not complete trash.
Yeah, something I can work with here.
Right. So glizzies, you're going, what'd you say?
Overrated.
Overrated on the glizzy. Good news, Tommy. It looks like you passed overrated, underrated.
I was getting worried about it.
Yeah. Do you have it? You're going to give yourself any glizzy, glizzy beans for that?
Cool beans. Cool beans.
There it is. Well deserved.
Nice. You know what else is well deserved?
What?
Heading over to spud-ink-straps.com. This episode is brought to you by our friends over at Spud Inc. Our friends being Spud. I mean, some of those other people are our friends there too. We've met several of them over the years. So I'm going to say our friends, plural, over at Spud Inc. Spud Inc. makes a variety of belts, but which one is right from you? But which one is right for you? From the classic deadlift belt to the new Olympic belt. No matter what kind of athlete you are, Spud Inc. makes a belt perfect for you. I was looking, they have in excess of 20 different belts available for sale on their website. Men's Pro Series 2-ply belt, they've got women's belt, they've got the utility deadlift belts, they've got the ratcheting style belts, the lockdown cinch strap belts. just a huge variety of belts, all at a very affordable, reasonable prices. Head over to Spudding, check out the belts and everything else they have to offer. They have free shipping on all domestic orders that are $75 or more. Make sure to do that. Get your free shipping and let them know that Massenomics sent you. Thank you, Spud Inc.
And today's show is also brought to you by Bearfoot Shoes. Most shoes harm your mobility by over-restricting your foot's natural movement. Barefoot shoes are designed with minimal restrictions so your feet can move the way they're supposed to. Move with more strength and confidence in every step. Barefoot Shoes was founded by Chris Duffin, who attributes proper foot biomechanics as foundational to his success in squatting and deadlifting over 1,000 pounds for reps. He helped create the company to provide a minimalist shoe that can be worn for anything from deadlifts to walking your dog. Go to www.barefoot.shoes to check out the best minimalist shoes available. And while you're there, make sure to use code Massenomics to save 10% on your next order. Thank you, Barefoot Shoes.
Right. Barefoot.
Glizzy.
They're glizzies. Glizzy foot shoes. Do not wear them on your hands.
Yeah, I like Big Mikey's ad for them. That was good.
Barefoot shoes. They're not for your hands.
Should be there. It should just be their marketing slogan.
Yes. What about one last? Should we do one last topic to wrap this one up?
Yeah. Put a bow on it.
Okay, so looking here at what we might want to talk about for this last topic, we got a few. I'm going to go with this one because it's been in there for a couple weeks, and we'll circle. It's time to circle back around to this one. So, Tommy, you've heard of a flat of pounders.
I have
before. You've had a flat of pounders.
I'm very
we all know what a
familiar
flat
with
of pounders is.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Flat of pounders is 24 16-ounce cans of beer, right?
Yes. A lot of times it's in
4 6-pack of those things that fish get their heads caught in.
Yep. Sometimes it could be. Sometimes do they do them in 3 8-packs even? Is that a thing? I always thought.
Is that
I remember,
how they do that?
Okay. Well, I always thought I remember getting Bud Lights. They would be in the.
Okay.
It would be like little 8-packs of pounders.
8-pack. Okay.
But there'd be
Got
3 of
that
them,
Bud
or
Light.
there'd be 4 of them. Well, but that wouldn't make
Okay.
sense. It'd have to be 4 6-packs because
Well, to make it a flat,
it would have to be
flat.
3 6-packs. Yeah, but they were in Sometimes they're in cardboard.
Right.
It's been done before.
Right.
But then otherwise, they're in the things that the fish like to put their head in when they're committing
Yes.
suicide. You know.
I've had enough of this fish world. Where's one of those things from the flat of pounders?
Screw you and all my fish friends. I'm ending it. I'm not going to let anyone eat me either.
Just one day closer to Monday anyways.
I'm sick of all these microplastics coursing through my body. It's time to end this. All the mercury and plastics in my gills. I've had enough.
Environmental issues. So you've heard of a flat of pounders.
I'm somewhat familiar, yes.
You've heard of going top shelf at the zoo.
I'm also familiar, yes.
You've heard going top shelf at the zoo. That would be our zoo bar mentioned earlier in this podcast. Top shelf being the second floor in the zoo where you go when you've had a couple.
Yep.
You've had a couple too many at times.
Yep,
you
when
go
you're
top
ready to get
shelf
the party
at the zoo.
going.
Yep. You've heard of getting wings at loggers, or you've heard of getting wings at the circus, and now we're talking getting rockets at loggers.
Yeah. It's something I have. It's been a while. It's probably out of all the things on the list, maybe the longest I've gone without doing.
Between top shelf at the zoo,
I've probably-
wings at the circus, rockets at loggers.
I'm trying to think what's been more recent. Top shelf at the zoo or rockets at loggers? Actually, I can remember the last time I had a rocket at loggers. And it was, I showed up and it was there. So I didn't order it because I'm never pro ordering a rocket. That's
what I want to talk about, really, honestly.
Yeah, I don't think that's
It's
the
the
way
philosophy behind rockets.
Yeah, so I'm just going to Google and see if this is common terminology here.
I don't know how common this terminology is. If people right now are like, what the hell? So loggers is one of our local watering holes here in western northeast South Dakota.
Yes.
One of the common hot spots for sure. I mean, it's right up. The triad to me really is loggers, zoo, circus is
That's as close as you're going to get to the trifecta for sure. Yeah, it's supposed to not be a common term because I'm Googling beer rocket table.
Did you try Googling rockets at loggers?
Let's see what they give me. Nope, nothing. Believe it or not. Beer comes up, but not a rocket lager. So a rocket would be at your table. They'll bring out, what are they? Is it a gallon, 120 ounces of beer, and it's in basically a tower?
Approximately.
So maybe tower's the better word. Beer.
It's like
tower.
a on table little
beer tap. Yes. Okay. If you do this, if you Google beer tower, that's the correct. Yeah. I don't know why, but
everyone calls it rockets, right?
Somehow the name rocket is what the term in Western Northeast South Dakota is, this
used to be very in vogue.
It was
too, that you'd go. Every table had a rocket at loggers.
You just get there'd be 60 out or however many. You'd get a rocket, 128 ounces, just sitting there, and you just fill your beers up as you go. And then, all right, it's getting down low. The waitress comes over, gets you another rocket, and you're good to go for another 45 minutes or whatever it is, depending on how big your group is. But the problem with rockets is that
I think there's a few problems.
Well, yeah. I should just say the problem. There is a lot of problems, and to start is the number of people you have with you and who you have with you can change your experience so much. So if you have people that are ready to party, I mean, those things can go down really, really fast,
Well, and then it's a race because get your value out of it.
You're just competing against your fellow table mates there.
Yeah. Well, shithead Bob over here just had 3, and then that relates into a parallel problem of who's paying for the rockets and how are you
divvy them up? And sometimes they will let you do. I remember when these were more popular 10 years ago, and a lot more people were poor college students at the time. You'd say, "Oh, there's 6 of us, so yep, I had my meal and a 1/6 of a rocket." They would actually charge a 1/6 of a rocket to your tab. Yes, I remember them doing that.
My bigger thing is if you've got 4 of you or 3 of you. I mean, I've done this where you take turns, everyone buys a rocket. That's a long night by the time you drink one by yourself and that sort of thing. But I've definitely done that before.
Yep. There's that part of it. And then there's also the part where when things start slowing down, the beer gets warm and it's not good.
That is an important piece of the puzzle to me. Why do I want this gallon of beer sitting at my table uncooled
for 45 minutes to an hour or whatever it is? You don't want that,
No,
that's not
and
ideal.
And also, why am I now my own bartender?
Yeah,
too. Maybe that has some perks to it of getting it exactly when you want it, but also I
think it's overrated in that way for sure. And then it always happens where the last rocket, you're either trying to go somewhere or do something, and there's half it left.
So someone's got to slam.
And it just turns into a chugging contest. And not in a way that's fun. It's a way that, no, we've already drank a lot of beer. And now now that we're 10 beers deep, we have to chug 4 beers before we can go to the next spot. And you just get so waterlogged doing this.
Damn it. You guys want to leave? We just got a new rocket.
Yep. And then because you can't let it go to waste. So you just get stuck chugging this thing.
Well, and you had to get one more so you could evenly split who's paying for what amount of rockets. And
and you've been having rockets all night. You can't just say, "Oh, we'll just get a round of beer."
No, you can't change.
That would mess it all up. So
right,
yeah, they are overrated. I'm not saying you couldn't have fun with them, but the concept is much more exciting than they are in actual practice.
To me, it's slightly similar, not perfectly parallel because there's different. It was like the old tap at the. We had the bar that opened up where everyone has the taps that go all the way to your table, like the actual taps, and you just or is that a common thing at places?
I don't know. I think that was kind of a novelty around here too.
Yeah, and I don't know if you find that. I mean, that bar was called Taps, and every table had a
beer tap.
I don't know, 5 taps right there that you could, and it charged you by the ounce. I think. I also think it ended up being extremely expensive.
I think so too. That place closed shortly after I wasn't in town very long before that place closed, but there was not very many times that I ever did that, and it never seemed like it worked out in your favor.
And it never also didn't really work reliably. There was always oh no, that tap is out at your, it's I don't know.
Probably why that place doesn't exist anymore, as in literally bulldozed to the ground.
They did bulldoze it to the ground, didn't they?
Yep. It's just gone forever.
There used to be a comedy club in the basement there.
What? Really?
Yeah, I used to go to the comedy club when I was underage,
Wow.
and yeah, it was the Down Under Comedy Club.
Really? Did they
I went to a few comedy acts
they
there when I
just-
was probably 19, 20 years old, and
Wow, I just can't imagine Aberdeen ever having a bustling comedy scene. That just
yeah, it was a comedy. I don't know. I guess you call it a club or a
wow.
where like mini weekends there was, which is kind of a cool thing.
Yeah,
You know,
I've never heard of this before. That's shocking to me.
Yeah, the Down Under Comedy Club.
Learn
Yeah.
something new every night.
Yeah. So we will not be hitting up the Down Under Comedy Club or Taps, but people could get rockets at loggers.
Yeah, you can. You're more than welcome to get a rocket lot. So that was the last time I had one. Not this past fall, but the fall before. So almost a year and a half ago, during Northern's homecoming. After the game, went to loggers, and the table we were with was ordering rockets. And the exact thing happened. There was like 20 of us popping in and out, all kind of drinking beer. And then you decide like, who the hell's getting the tab? Because so many people have been drinking this. And then the exact thing of, oh, time to go. And half of it was left. And it just turned into, since I was one of the last ones to show up, I was just trying to drink as much of it as I could. And yeah, it actually worked out fine for me. But yeah, it's not the ideal consumption method.
Yeah. All right, let's put a bow on this one. I'd go tell you to make sure to check out our new drop items that are coming out on Thursday. Make sure to subscribe on YouTube. Check out our new YouTube videos that are launching on Wednesday. It is the week of Massenomics.
And
Make sure
love.
Oh, Valentine's Day. That's a good call out too. And then make sure to leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts if you could. We're coming dangerously close to 500, and there's going to be big things coming when we hit that 500 mark. 500's a big one. That's one of those big milestones. It's like benching 315 for the first time, hitting 500 Apple Podcasts.
You'll always
reviews.
remember where you were at.
Yes, that's right. It's like the JFK assassination. That and when the Massenomics got 500 podcast reviews were monumentous occasions.
In American history.
Tommy, where do they find you at?
You can find me at Tomahawk_D.
You can follow me at Tanner_Baird, but just make sure to follow Massenomics at Massenomics.
See ya.